8:40 a.m. out here in the woods. Yeah, so much for Google and their predictions that this was supposed to end at 8:30 a.m. We got Junco that's made its way up here. Did have a blue jay that was waiting to come in. There we go. Of course, they're after the peanuts this morning and grabbing and going as quick as possible. It is just so frigidly cold out here. It is ridiculous. I'm grabbing the peanuts. Yeah, we had plows out here. Went right down into the snow. Must have dropped a peanut down there. Man, digging through the snow after the peanut that it dropped. Yeah, I'm breathing a little heavy as I've been out here sweeping out an area here so the cats could get up here and eat and get their thirst quenched, as this one is doing right now. Of course, I'll have to be back out here within a few hours so I can refresh the water once again and bring out a little bit more food. You know, the typical same old that I do on a daily basis, 2 to 3 times per day. I'm surprised we don't have more Juncos that's up here. And let me tell you what, my fingers are froze already just from a few minutes of being exposed to the elements out here. Got more blue jays that are starting to move in, of course. And hey, Jayhawk, that my buddy Jay back here. Or is that King? Alright, I think before my fingers get too froze, might as well go ahead and head on in. So I have to get around and wander downtown in this nasty stuff. Yeah, we got more birds moving in. Some sparrows now. Here's a sparrow back here. Hi there. Where'd you go? Oh, jumped right in there. Okay. Yeah, they're fluttering all about up in here. Oh, taking their turns. Alright, my fingers are froze. I have to go in. Ciao for now. The Skyway's out. .45 a.m. Well, I decided, well, seeing how I'm going to be out here once again in the elements, I might as well go ahead and record what we've got going on with this manufactured, modified weather. Completely created, right? Yeah, and you know, Google is once again just proven itself to be absolutely worthless, because once again, you know, this snow, according to Google, was supposed to end at approximately 8:30 a.m. this morning, according to Google. And I've shown plenty of evidences to where, you know, the Google search engine is just worthless as all get out as well. We've got such heavy snows right now. I mean, it doesn't really appear to be all that, if you will. But when viewing long distance in the field back here, you can't even see the trees off to the eastern horizon. Okay? And of course you can probably hear my footsteps crunching on the snow, once again indicating just how cold it is. And well, I'm being forced to walk onto the road because there is no sidewalk to speak of, as this just continues to come down. And you can see even on my way down here, visibility is terrible. And currently, yes, aircraft coming across the sky. And oh hey, here's our greater light back here. Of course, highly filtered, right? Yeah, so much fun dealing with the fakery of today's weather. And we have one of our dumpster movers that's yeah, so this was brought up in a comment yesterday or day before by Rare Breed, inquiring about this because of this airplane here. Yeah, which this is a, I might as well just go ahead and show it. Plane dumpsters, okay? Now, which they try to specialize in metal. Now look at this idiot here. You know, very poor visibility out here. And we got people driving around with no headlights. Actually going above the speed limit here. I could tell that just, oh, that's just very easy to tell. And we got us a one headlighter. Yep. People like that don't even deserve to be on the roadways if they cannot keep up on vehicular maintenance, right? Man, look at how this stuff is coming down. Man. And once again, so much for Google. Oh, what is this, a pig? Or excuse me, a cop right here watching me walking down towards him as I'm recording. Just sitting there doing nothing, you know, just waiting for those emergency calls to come about. And thankfully it appears as though our store is open down here. Once again, we got this greater light back here, and yeah, man, this is just so much fun. And of course, we got, you know, all the boys with their toys out and about trying to earn a couple of bucks on the side, plowing snow. Well, anyways, yeah. Alright, we're headed in to do what I gotta do so I can get back and continue on with this frozen day. Alrighty, and we are back at 10:10 a.m. It's Monday morning. January 19th, 2025. I have returned from the store, and furthermore, I have swept off the balcony out here. Still see a little bit of this filtered shine, if you will. But again, you know, you cannot trust Google in any factor today. As once again, you know, they stated through a pop-up notification this morning this was to end at 8:30 a.m. and it has not let up. So, you know, once again, just proving how worthless Google is in its entirety, you know. And furthermore, I'm on my way back, just like right now. It is the sounds of jet aircraft flying overhead, adding to the mix. And I heard this non-stop along my way back from downtown. Might be able to hear it. Be nice if I could actually capture one as it's flying over, but under the conditions of the sky and with all this frozen precipitation, if you will, this fallout coming down, just kind of hinders the visibility of whether it is looking down the road or looking up overhead. But it is nothing but the sounds of jet aircraft, once again, adding to all of this. Okay? Man, it'd be nice to be able to capture one of these goobers in the act, but you know, I've done so much of that throughout the history of this channel. I shouldn't have to prove anything anymore. You know, the evidence speaks for itself within, once again, the history of content found on this channel and throughout the history of this channel and the content thereof. Yeah, we still have birds trying to visit what I put out there this morning. Blue jays, of course. And even further back, it appears as though we have a squirrel in the tree back here. Oh, no, there's a big black bird. Okay, of some sort. But this stuff is coming down just that much heavier because they continue to add and add and add whatever components it is to bring about this frozen fallout being labeled as snow. And in the meantime, yeah, it looks like we're you know, getting some clearings kicking off here. But yeah, the snowfall continues. And so does the jet aircraft activity. You need to speak out, people. If you're, you know, providing sky content in any form whatsoever, you need to wake up and start speaking out. On your channel. Okay? If you're a sky watcher, regardless of where you're at. Start speaking out against the false narratives of Mother Nature. Yeah, look at this. Whew. And the false narratives that the meteorologists provide just because they want to continue earning their paycheck, and they're too cowardly to actually speak out because of possible gag orders and all that. You know what? The meteorologists today are nothing but a bunch of gutless wonders for not speaking out, and I praise all those that do. Buck up to the challenge of speaking out. Alright, enough of this nonsense. Once again, I'll be back out to provide water and food for the cats. Yeah. Alright. That's enough. This Skywise out.